right, good morning. November 21st, this is the District 21 Board of Commissioners meeting. Call it to order at 10:31, and we will start with the volunteer. Oh, we don't have to. What's allegiance? Sorry. I was disheveled. I am.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah, you might keep poking today. All right. Roll call. I'm Bruce Ansel.
Matt Ridberg.
Kimberly Bickmurray.
John Crown.
Joel Nielsen.
All right. Volunteer Pension Board meeting. I'll open that at 10:32. We have the approval of October 16th minutes. Is there a motion to approve those minutes?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous. Chief, anything else? Volunteer? All right, we'll close that meeting. And because of our budget resolutions, this is a public hearing meeting. So members of the public are invited to provide comments. Is there anyone signed up? Anyone want to comment? All right, so hearing and seeing no questions, comments, no one wrote in, no one emailed us.
They're focused on the county right now.
Ah, sounds good. All right, well, I will then close the public hearing and open the regular meeting. Why is it a special meeting today?
Anytime there's a,
Because of the public hearing?
Yeah.
Thank you. We have before us Resolution 2024-09, which is our request for the 1% increase. I will read the resolution since it has to do with taxing money. Whereas the Board of Fire Commissioners of Whatcom County Fire Protection District 21, Taxing District, has met and considered the budget for the calendar year 2025. And whereas the district's previous year's levy amount was $6,968.52, and whereas the population of the district is more than 10,000, and whereas the Board of Commissioners of Whatcom County Fire Protection District 21, after hearing and after duly considering all relevant evidence and testimony presented, determined that Whatcom County Fire Protection District 21 taxing district requires an increase in property tax revenue from the previous year, in addition to that resulting from the addition of new construction and improvements to property and any increase in the value of state assessed property, in order to discharge the expected expenses and obligations of the district and in its best interest. Therefore, be it resolved by the Board of Commissioners of Whatcom County Fire District 21 Taxing District that an increase in regular property tax levy, in addition to the increase resulting from the addition of new construction and improvements to property and any increase in the value of state assessed property, is hereby authorized for the 2025 levy in the amount of $222,861, which is a percentage increase of 1% from the previous year. Motion?
so
Seconded?
Second.
Any discussion? Chief, any thoughts of wisdom here?
Yes, just real quick. If you're quick at math, $222,000 does look like more than 1%. It is. It turns out that it is equal to 3.2%. Based on new construction improvements, in addition to so it's 2.2 for new construction improvements, 1% for the general levy raise. So that's how that math pencils out.
I was expecting something in the $69,000 range. based on.
Yes, based
our
on
budget.
the budget amount, yes.
Very good. All right. Any,
Um,
go ahead.
Sorry if I could. So at this levy rate, our levy next year will, we were 76 cents per thousand this year, and we will be at, our levy rate will be 0.737, so 0.74. So the levy rate drops 2 cents this next year, which is an indication that assessed valuations are somewhat flattening out. We'll see what happens next year.
Fair enough. Anyone else? All in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous. Thank you. Is this just a copy? The original Jenny will be in our packet, or the ones that we?
Yeah, she has one for signatures. The reason that you have a paper copy in front of you that's different is I realized last night there was an error in the one that was in your board packet. So this replaces the one that was in the electronic board packet that went out last night.
Thank you. All right, we have the consent agenda next. Oh, sorry, we have levy certification next. So, Chief, explain the levy certification.
So this is a form that we submit to the county. It's a common form throughout the entire state, and it calls out this number. What you see here in the regular levies box in this is the total certified levy request amount. So that's last year's levy plus the 3.2% with new construction and the 1%, as well as the administrative refund, which please don't make me explain the administrative refund. It's so confusing. It has to do with some of the past taxes that we take in throughout the year. So properties that are in arrears and then they're sold. When a new owner takes possession of a property, they have to pay all the back taxes if someone's, say, walked away from a mortgage or something like that, or a business is shut down. So that's where that administrative refund amount comes in.
And the county figures this number out magically
Yes, sir.
and sends it to us.
And Jessica and I actually sat down with one of the people in the assessor's office that does this. She took the time to explain it to us twice, and I still don't quite understand.
It's not the Scribner's error.
It's not a Scribner's error. No, this is due to
something you can
past.
track.
Yes, sir. This is due to like I said, taxes that were in arrears that have come current, and
And that happens every year,
it
right?
happens every year. So even for the best example I have is so the Whatcom County Fire District 4, they take a 0% on their EMS levy every year.
Right.
They do not take the 1% since the levy's passed. And even they get a administrative refund. I think their administrative refund was $1,800 this year. So it's
On
just
the EMS
on
level.
the EMS levy.
Okay.
So even something they're not increasing taxes on, they're still getting an administrative refund on because of the past taxes. So
Is there any way of determining how much of that money is just floating out there in space that just?
probably the lady that explained it to us could tell us how that works. She kept saying it's very complicated.
Okay. And they get audited too, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So basically, you need the board to approve this request amount of $7,190,861.52. Or is it higher than that?
No, it's $7,190,861.52. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Sorry. Yes. Yes.
And the other refund, that just happens. That doesn't require any action on our part. Okay. Is there a motion to approve the levy certification?
Second.
Is there a second? This is tough. You guys are hurting me today. Any further discussion or questions, comments? All in favor? It is unanimous. Anything else we need to do? Budget resolutions. Tomorrow, we will be scrutinizing the budget proposal.
The line item budget proposal, yes.
And it will be based on these new numbers that we've approved today. Okay. Consent agenda. The consent agenda includes the meeting minutes from September 22nd, October 17, the staff reports, the financial reports, which I will read into the record. The revenue for October was $3,089,000, $676.47. The total expenditures for November were $1,201,833.79. Direct deposit payroll, $407,294.19. Payroll taxes, $95,159.21. Benefits voucher, $255,644.64. Monthly expenditure voucher, $127,220.09. Capital projects, $3,970.08. Capital projects apparatus, $312,545.58. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda? And is there anything you want to talk about from your chief's report?
Yes.
Okay. Is there a motion for the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Chief?
The biggest anomaly that you actually won't see in the chief's report, but will see reflected in the vouchers, is a capital project apparatus in there for an aid car. In June, the board authorized spending up to $390,000 to order a new aid car. We were made aware last month that there was a demo unit from essentially the same company that was 95% our spec. It was 95% of what we're looking for. It's still four-wheel drive. It's still got the upgraded suspension, and the biggest thing is that it allows us to gives us a safer operating weight, which was the big concern with those with our current aid cars. With tax licensing, or not licensing, but tax, Washington State tax, everything, we were able to we were offered for $305,000. So a savings of $85,000. The other bid did not include tax. That was just the purchase of the apparatus. So asked around a little bit, some of my peers, and since we've been given authorization by the board to spend up to $390, I took that as license that we could go ahead and purchase this demo at a significant savings. It will be replacing a 2019 aid car, which is in that category of, has the weight concerns, the load limit concerns. This will be a diesel 4x4. It's what we were looking for $390, and we got it for $305.
And we got it timely.
It's as soon as I hand the check, I'll get the keys.
Right.
Yeah.
Versus how long is the time frame on to build?
Another 2 years. So you're at 18 months to 2 years. So chassis hadn't even been delivered yet. There was no penalty from the company we ordered from. We had to pay a $5,000 administrative transfer fee to use Fire Apparatus, which is the dealer. So nothing for canceling of the previous order. It was really seamless. You will notice these aid cars are going to be white. To paint it red would have been $20,000, and nope, white will work just fine. So I will let the board know that there's going to be more opportunities for these demo units. They're pretty popular. A lot of places are moving to them. Sounds like there'll probably be 4 more opportunities throughout the year. I don't have a plan to purchase them yet. I'm getting some pressure from the sales company. Also, obviously looking for letters of intent to purchase these. We got to wrap our heads around how would we pay for them first, when our immediate need is also an engine and replacing that ladder. So we've got some things to think about, but I did want to make you aware that there will be more opportunities to purchase these type of rigs, exactly cookie cutter the same, at this reduced price versus what we bid.
And they are used by the company just as display models, basically, for shows,
And they've hit on this popular spec, and they can build them much faster, is what it is. And they're all white. They're not having to go through the paint line. They're not having to wait for Ford to send them vermilion red chassis. Apparently, they can just produce them faster, and they're solid rigs.
Yeah.
What about warranty on it?
Same factory warranty.
How many miles?
It's got 1,000 miles.
3,000?
So this was its first stop. So
all right, sounds like
That's good news.
a good purchase.
We like good
Plus,
news.
we get it now, right?
it'll take, we'll have to get it striped and get the power load put in it. But we'll use as a shop in Mount Vernon where we can get all that done. So at least the power load. So yep, we should be able to get it in service pretty quick and get one of these old ones out of here. That was the big.
Very good, thank you. Any other questions, comments?
Great.
All in favor of the consent agenda?
Aye.
It's unanimous. Commissioner meeting reports. Did you go to?
I went to the all county representatives. I sent you all an email with the PowerPoint that was created by the Chiefs Association. The Chiefs Association is going to be presenting that to the company that is doing the study, as well as the county council. There wasn't really a date to do that, correct? There wasn't a picked out date.
We haven't, the company that's doing the study is going to be out the first week of December. So we're trying to get an appointment with them, one of their 90-minute sessions. And then we'll be meeting with the county councilors individually. So not as a group.
Why you guys got it, so you can get a first look on it before it goes to those people.
And this was, quote, an educational piece to inform both groups
What we are.
of how we work and what our authority as a taxing district are.
Yes, sir. And where the authority comes from, that it comes from the state of Washington and individual taxing districts, and just how long we've been here.
Which would have been nice if they had asked before they jumped into the big thing. Anyway.
Then we really went deep in the weeds about the EMS levy that may be forthcoming. I'll let Jason take that because it was all over this. He can probably explain it better.
For the county levy? Sorry.
No, it's fine. So you may recall when the most recent EMS levy got passed, the council elected not to take the levy rate that the voters approved. So it got
29.
They got approved at a 29.5 per thousand. They chose to take 25, 26,
26.
26.
It was 26.
And they were warned by the administrative staff, by the fire chiefs and the operators at Medic One, that doing that was going to result in a budget shortfall at some point. The county council didn't heed that warning, for lack of a better word, and now they're looking at a $2.5 million deficit, which turns out when you do the math, if they would have taken the 29.5%, they wouldn't have the two. They wouldn't have that
This
deficit.
again is because of the levy compression over.
Correct.
6
Yeah,
years.
you have to
Right.
start, it's a 6-year plan for a reason, because you start at the front
Right,
and then you bank that, you put
Right.
that money into reserves. And then as it hits the end, as levy compression happens, you have that money to ride out the entire levy period. They didn't do that, so they're looking now at a $2.5 million deficit. So the county executive put forward a 1% EMS levy rate increase. So I believe it was 300 and some odd $1,000 would have been, that's what he proposed. A county council person, I'm not sure which one, actually proposed to take the banked capacity to make up the $2.5 million deficit. So increase it back, because they banked that capacity, they can
they can reinstate.
reinstate it and build that back up. She did that on top of the county executive's resolution. So it could be voted on. It would have to pass by a supermajority to basically veto or nullify the county executive's resolution.
Supermajority of who?
Of the council.
Okay.
So it had to be a 5-2 vote. Last 2 nights ago, everybody saw, I'm sure on social media and the news, that the county exec then proposed an 11.5% or 11 and point something percent property tax increase for the county general fund. Nothing was mentioned about the EMS levy at all. At the county council meeting the other night, both the 1% and the supermajority vote failed. So the EMS levy is going to get 0 increase. And it was actually 5 votes against both so a supermajority of the county councilors voted against the EMS levy increase of any sort, whether it be the 1% or to make up that $2.5 million gap. So now we find ourselves in that it's gotten so confusing that county councilors are just shutting down and they're just saying, no, you've made a mess. We don't understand that. This is the chief's interpretation of what's going on. We don't understand. So we're just going to vote no until either we're out of office or the levy's done or somebody brings us some clarity. So,
But the property tax passed.
yeah, of course, yes. Yeah. So there's a lot of theory as to how things got so confusing. Everybody's pointing fingers at everybody else. I don't know how this is going to sort out.
All right, Mr.
There was a lot of disappointment.
Now, the county has at least 12 million in reserves in the EMS fund. At least that was our last.
Yes.
Dipping at that.
That's for ALS, correct?
Yes. Well, it was the EMS levy.
The EMS levy fund has
It's got some BLS and ALS. Yeah. There's a formula for that. But part of the quote rainy day fund for in case the levy failed was reserving at that time, I believe it was $12.5 million.
correct.
Was there any talk about pulling from that?
I have not heard any talk about pulling from that.
There was no talking about that. The speaker for the EMS guy, Mike Hildy, is not doing any favors for anybody. That's basically what was said. Yeah, so.
All right. Well, thank you for the information. How about any meetings that you attended?
Yeah, the AFG or the grants are moving right along.
Okay.
The radios and bunker gear and hose, and
All right.
our team is on it.
Perfect.
And I can't wait till we can announce our award. So,
Looking forward
words-
to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and looking forward to the holiday party and distributing Thanksgiving baskets next week. Yeah.
John stepped in for me while I was getting my elbow cut off.
All right. Did it work better this time?
There's a big off-chip divot in my arm right now. We'll find out.
They can inject split fat cells into the.
Yeah, I can. Maybe you can-
All right. Local 106.
Morning. Yeah, so we're hiring our extended offers to a couple people after chief interviews. I think we have 4 now. Again, thanks to the chief for getting that ambulance, and hopefully we'll keep getting some more, the red ones. And then just, I'll be the unit leader again for 2 years as of the last meeting, so you have 2 more years of me. And then also I'd like to give a shout out to Cody Sandberger for passing probation. So if you see him, congratulate him. He was a lateral from New York. And then Mike Nelson, shout out to him for doing the Thanksgiving baskets next week on the 26th at Grant Street. So if you can show up, that would be great to help out. So, anything else?
Project Santa, December 7th.
Yeah, Project Santa, December 7th. So Geraldine Click, she runs that. So you can get to any of those, that'd be great. So, that's all I got.
There was a guy on Birch Bay Drive that painted his pickup truck with a spray can. I'm wondering if maybe.
He's
we can
available.
get him
If
to-
he's got red,
Hey, I don't care how it gets red,
we'll do it.
I think it was that texture paint, right? It almost looked like Linex. Anyway, just a thought. Deputy Fire Marshal, report.
Yes, so as far as new construction building, there's a few things that have come up recently. One of them was the last Blaine City Council meeting. They voted on the raising the building heights along Peace Portal. It was a tie vote, and they proposed to postpone and do the next vote on December 9th. So it still hasn't been decided, whether they're going to approve the planning commission's approval or the recommendation to go 12 feet higher along the side of the west side of Peace Portal. The urban growth area to the east of Blaine, the Grandest Pond, was planned between 600 and 700 homes to be out there. A private investor purchased that property, and from the sounds of it, he's decided to turn it into kind of like a nature reserve, which is going to decrease the amount of urban growth area for the city of Blaine. And they're discussing on their next plan to maybe try to move that urban growth area into a different area, maybe Semiahmoo, or they're not sure yet. They're working on that. So that's a significant number of homes that are now taken off the schedule.
Well, how long a process is it to move an urban growth area?
I have no idea.
I mean, I'm assuming it has to go through the county.
It does, yes. Yeah.
All kinds of-
Yeah, county, state, yeah, everything has to be approved.
So potentially years.
Yes. Now the Avista, that's been proposed, it's another area over by Semiahmoo. Up to 490 residential units. It's been on hold for a couple of years now, and they're finally starting to move forward with it. So they're proposing the streets and the lots, for the early planning. So they've sent information to me as far as like for hydrant location for intersections, and so they are moving forward with that. And that's going to be up to 490 residential units.
And geographically, where does that connect to Lincoln?
It is on Semiahmoo Parkway.
Simeon Parkway.
So when you get to the top of the hill,
Uh-huh.
just after the Horizon development on the left-hand side where the city limits start, that's where Avista is going to be, and then going down into the county. So the whole project will be mostly in the city of Blaine, but it also goes over into the county side a little bit, kind of where the Trillium property is located.
Between that and Horizon, is there enough water supply?
The city is working on trying to come up with a a second water source for that area. Because currently there's only one single source going across the channel, which we've been in discussion with for quite some time now. And they're trying to come up with a plan to either loop around, through Birch Bay's water area or put a second line across the channel as a backup.
Then if they expand the urban growth area into that just south or just north of there is what I saw on the map, that's not tenable.
No, currently there wouldn't be enough water for the entire area.
Not-
Not just fire flow, but.
Faucets.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Deputy Fire Marshal and Nielsen and I have, immediately were in contact about this,
Mhm.
the water problem, the myriad of water problems, and,
With the city.
with the city,
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
especially, well, there's the current problem, and then by expanding the urban growth area to the
Right.
semi, that just makes it even worse. So we've already,
The other area wasn't an issue because it didn't cross the bay.
I mean, you're talking about what, like a 30 to 40, 50% increase of population for Blaine if all of those homes are multifamily homes.
I believe it's about 30.
30%. So you can expect fire service, emergency service, police response needs are gonna
Mhm.
be ridiculous in there.
Yeah, they do currently have a plan to, there's an intertie between the Semiahmoo water system and Birch Bay to where we can pump water from the Birch Bay side up into the Blaine side, which is a higher elevation. And they've done testing on that, and we were able to get water to flow the opposite direction in case the pipe does fail. It would be enough to serve the homes on a limited rate. They'd have to be on water conservation schedule until the pipe can be fixed going across the channel. But it does compromise firefighting capabilities, and they are aware of that.
And there's talk of road expansion, lane expansions.
Of what expansion?
Lane, roads, lanes.
Oh, just
lanes.
adding more roads, yeah, for these developments.
Is meant to tie in with circumvention of the train as well,
Of the what now?
Train,
Bell Road.
where we're talking about the bypass for the trains.
Oh, that's a separate issue. And that overpass, they're not even sure, what's going to happen with that because the state is running short on funds also.
There are human beings involved in that planning process, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
Ferndale one,
Yeah. Wow.
go to Grandview.
All the excitement
I
from
did
saving
notice
money
they
just
added
went
some
away.
Nice
I know.
artwork to that overpass now. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is lovely artwork. We have that to look forward to while we're stuck in traffic.
And then the last thing was, it has to do with the Whatcom County Fire Marshal's office. Up until recently, they did have 3 fire investigators for fires. Well, 2 of their employees have now quit, they've left, and so now they're down to 1. So we're back on a situation where the one person's going to be overworked, and they've asked if I can try to help fill in with investigations for the county.
And do they reimburse you for that?
Yes, they do. Yes. Yeah, there's an agreement or contract.
we bill them hour for hour, both at the straight time and overtime rate for him. So we don't make any money, but we at least recoup this
Sure.
time. I've been pretty straight with Fire Marshal Nielsen about that I don't want to take a call. They can call him, and if he's available, then he can go.
Right.
But I don't want him altering his time off for the county. That's
Sure.
that's not part of the deal. And we don't have, in our CBA, we don't have a standby time clause. So he needs to, if he needs me to intervene on his behalf, he's not taking call weeks at a time for them. They need to sort out their personnel issue.
They're supposed to be putting out job postings this week to try to fill those 2 vacant positions.
There's supposed to be a meeting between the sheriff, some of the fire chiefs, myself included, and Curtis Metz, who's the Director of Planning Services.
Yeah, something,
Planning Services
yeah.
Director, to hear what the plan is. That meeting was supposed to happen within 48 hours of this, because these guys both reside on the same day, together, arms locked. So there must be something going on.
Was there an internal issue?
I think there might be. An intuitive, sir. But that meeting keeps getting pushed back. And
There's no cross-trained law enforcement? Usually there's cross-trained investigators, no?
they're pressing the detectives into it.
Yes.
Well, they should be.
Yeah.
They should at least have one or two.
They are. But I think if in the case of like what we're talking about, like a fatality or something like that, where they might need some more specialized fire marshal type investigation,
Okay.
they would call him. They're not calling him in on every illegal burn or anything like that. So
The building height, you sent me, I don't know if everyone else got it from the attorneys about
Yeah, we got it.
Yeah,
the
it's in
letter.
packet.
Is that something that we have shared with the city?
I've not shared it with the city.
Are we going to?
Certainly we can. I will.
I mean, wasn't the thought to let them know that we are not capable of protecting those structures if they build them to that height?
Yes.
And the language was changed from,
Unable
Un-
to.
yeah,
Yeah, from,
there was a wording suggestion.
I think it was worded direction.
she's got it on the list.
Unable to serve was the, I can't remember what the other one was. Should not issue a will serve letter. But unable to serve?
I will I'll send this to Fire Marshal Nielsen and we'll figure out whether we send it to Mike Harmon, the city manager, or whether we distribute it straight to the city councilors. I'm not sure on the protocol on that.
Can you
We're going to
send it to him and CC the city council?
Yeah, we're going to this.
Well, it looks like they don't have to do anything with that letter anyway, just from reading it.
No, but I think it's just the fact that it's not an automatic. That's the good piece, is that we don't.
Yeah.
It's not
It is a CYA, absolutely. It's a necessary one. Unless they want to step up and provide funding for the resources to,
they're not able to do that. The city of Blaine's are worse off than we are. So.
So do you need direction from the board to send this letter off? Would you like direction
I
from
think I
the
just
board?
got it. Yeah. It's on Jenny's list, so.
Is the board in agreement that we should notify the city that we are unable to serve the structures that they are planning to build?
I think we have to.
All right.
Unanimous.
The board
Yes, sir.
unanimously agrees that we should put them on notice. So if that requires CSD attorney assistance in drafting the appropriate letter, because there was a lot of, you could do this, you could do that, if you want.
What does the board think of also notifying the Northern Light? I think it's a pretty important issue.
Will do.
Everybody think that's decent? Okay.
Fine with me, I
Yep.
mean, we,
It's important.
I think the public ought to know that if they're gonna build these things.
And it may impact the voting if it's done timely.
Okay. Anything else?
Oh, that's it.
Unfinished business, Simiamu Station 62.
I'm sorry to give you a goose egg on the first two, but I've been so busy with budget and the hiring process and some of the other things going on with Chief Ward being out that I've made no progress on either 62 or 63 this month. So
62, though, the letter got sent to
Yes, sir.
the city.
letter got sent to the city and it's been acknowledged. It was acknowledged during an open meeting, the receipt of it, and it was explained roughly to the county council or to the city council. So, but I have not heard back from Mr. Harmon. What their
Was there a timeline on being able to hear back from them? I mean, the building sits while they decide.
positive side, we've had a couple good spots of rain over the last month. And I've had the BCs go out there and check and we've not suffered any more damage. So it's not that it's out of mind. It's just,
Right.
so I will reach back out to Mr. Armour to see if city council's even taken it on yet or what they're, we'd like to conclude this in the next 90 days.
Definitely. And 63, did we get the,
I never got the digitized stuff back from them, so I'll reach back out to John. I can't remember his last name.
from RAM?
So,
I know, I think they're busy on that project at the on-ramp at Guide Meridian. I think they're doing that project.
and like I said, it's not anybody's fault but mine. I've just been super. Budget month is.
Yep. Yes, I know. This November, December is always slammed with the whole budget process, so. And we appreciate all the work that everyone did on the, hiring, all the interviews and reviews. And how many candidates did we have to begin with? Applications, over 200?
We got over 200. We took 65 to the speeds.
I'd say 60 somewhere in there for speed interviews.
So that's processing a lot of stuff.
Then 25 like panel interviews, and then 10 chiefs interviews. So we offered 5 jobs, 4 accepted. So
One took a job somewhere else.
one took a job somewhere else. So we're going to stick with 4.
And they will start.
They start January 2nd.
Okay.
3 of the 4 have been given unconditional offers. They passed everything. 4th, we're waiting for one more piece. We need his TV test read. So I expect to have that by Monday. But that's the final piece for him. They've passed all the psych and background checks and all those things. So
Okay. Cool. All right. Tender purchase.
we have received our money back from,
Oh,
that was the
good.
key thing that we were waiting for, is we
Right.
have received all our funds back from True North. Pierce has some demo tenders that are coming, that are up. What's that?
They're painted white, right?
They're red. They are red. And they each come with a $15,000 rebate because they're trying to move these things. I think they built too many.
Okay.
So we're just going through the last little bit of tech stuff. I expect to get the thumbs up from Ryan and the spec committee because they had asked some questions of the Pierce rep about these tenders.
Mhm.
So I will come to you. The price of so we authorized $725,000, I think, for the purchase of 2 tenders. We're not going to be able to get 2 tenders out of $725,000. So because of cost increases over the last 2 years since you authorized that money, so we may be looking at 1, and I will have that for you at the December meeting.
Is D4 in line for a tender?
They are not in line for a tender, but I would ask you to stop snatching the thoughts out of my head. Yes, they probably, looking at their budget, they probably, I will also recommend to them was gonna recommend that they replace one of their 2 tenders that they have.
Oh, wow.
We'd still keep it on the road. the
Right.
old tender, but it would be in addition to the fleet. It would be their Station 12. the other one. So that might be a way to capitalize on that.
So they could purchase a new tender, we could reserve one of theirs, and then we would purchase a new tender.
Yes, sir.
All in favor? Sorry, we can talk to them tomorrow. Timeline?
Those tenders are ready in like January, February.
Great.
So, and yes, they're red.
And these are just a Model T, Model A production
These are,
that has no.
it's known as wet side tenders. They're 3,000 gallon, 1,250 GPM pump on a
They
Freightliner
carry
chassis.
water.
They carry water.
Sir.
How much was that rebate for? 15. What was the paint job on an ambulance? Just one.
You're out of line.
Sorry.
Job description, we have been given that last meeting for review, and you need us to approve it. Are there any, well, is there a motion to approve the fire chief's job description? The revised, the new, the reformatted fire chief's. Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? I like the format. I didn't see any issues. I know there was just some wordsmithing and kind of minor changes to the old version. So is everyone comfortable with the way it read? Yep. All in favor? It's unanimous. Is that anything we have to sign, or is that just?
Just you.
Just. Interim Fire Commissioner application process. Where are we in that? We have 2 applicants. And tomorrow?
Interviews tomorrow afternoon.
Okay. And the 2 of you, 3 of you are conducting those. And no conflict time-wise, you're off that.
Yeah, I took a V-day for all tomorrow.
All right. So, is this then a recommendation for the December meeting to be sworn in at the December meeting, or to discuss and be sworn in January?
I think the last time you had an executive session and then you came out of it and approved one or the other, and then you could swear them in, or you could wait until the January meeting and I can appoint them and get the paperwork done before the January. It's up to you.
I will let the committee decide how they want
Okay.
to manage this when you conduct the interviews, and then we can put it on the agenda for next meeting, but then you guys recommend how you want to handle it. 2025 budget update. We're doing this tomorrow.
Yes.
Is there anything we need to know today?
Not just, I'll just give you a couple of the highlights. LNI rates have doubled due to the fact that we've had 2 line of duty deaths due to, or we had another line of duty death due to occupational illness, as well as a mental health PTSD retirement due to occupational illness. So those are both coming on. Those are both coming on our experience factor, is what they call it this year. They'll be on for about 4 years and then drop off. So L&I rates doubled. That's the big thing. And then we have a contractual wage increase, and then just insurance went up about 15%. Insurance for things went up 15%. Insurance for people went up 3%. So I'll show you the line items tomorrow, but it's the numbers keep getting bigger, at least on the output side. So,
1% just is not keeping up.
no, sir.
I do have concerns about our next levy lid lift attempts, if we're making one based on all the county feedback I've been watching over the last few days.
I will tell you that I have not put anything in the budget in 2025 for anything to go on the ballot other than the one commissioner that we have on the ballot next year. I did not ask you, but I inferred that 2025 we would rest and watch before we chose to go back out. This is a proposed budget. If you have the ability to change my mind tomorrow. So, but I made the assumption that it wouldn't be going out.
Library's going out next year, probably.
Library's going out next year. County library's going out next year. So,
And they're gonna be asking for 26 cents.
There's a significant amount of voter fatigue right now.
Oh, I know. Yep. Anyway, I kind of hold off and see where they land. I went to their community input meeting the other night and have another meeting with the director next Monday just to discuss our experience and share what happened with us. So I mean, to watch their presentation, you could have just put North Whatcom on the top of it and, geez, we got a 1% limit. Back in the 40s, they created these junior taxing districts and, we started at 50 cents or down to 26 cents. And I was like, yep, last lift was in 2009. It was like,
and both school districts that are in the fire district, both their bonds failed.
So I imagine they're going to retool and come back with proposals. Got to probably next year.
April maybe.
All right. Anything else under unfinished business? Any new business? You guys all saw the correspondence? Anything of, we got, I think, the fire district fed up with Washington homeowners insurance rating system. That wasn't from us, but it was a King 5 report. Maybe you could just give us a Reader's Digest version of what's happening with that.
Well, I had told you a month or two ago about an online meeting I attended with the Office of Insurance Commissioner with fire chiefs from across the state about frustrations with WSRB and how their scoring system does and how it rates fire departments. And this article is a spinoff from that. The fire chief from Stevens County, Mike Busey has some pretty serious allegations that he's making against WSRB. So let's see Dennis Doan, who's the chair of the Washington State Fire Chiefs and is the fire chief for Gig Harbor. He comes from Idaho, so a different state. He's got experience in a different state, and he talked more about kind of what we're facing, where it's our homeowners are getting squeezed, and it really, they keep pointing at us as the bad guys when it's actually, he said it, it's the insurance company's the problem, not the fire department, and how this WSRB is funded and not managed. Their scoring criteria and their rating criteria is off. So apparently this is the first in a series of articles, and possibly even, from what I'm picking up, some possible litigation from Mike Busey, that fire chief, he's going to make some legal allegations.
Is this in relation to the insurance industry funding of WSRB, or is this something else?
That's part of his allegations is where their funding comes from and who their steering committee is and how are they engaging fire departments in their rating schedule, or are they engaging insurance companies in their rating schedule? So those are the kind of the main allegations that are getting tossed around out there. The frustration from the fire chief side is obviously it's as simple as someone being on one side of the yellow line, they're a 5, and on the other side, they're a 9. And how is that? Why is there no graduated system? Why is minimum staffing of 6 on an engine their grading scale? Who has 6?
I don't think Seattle or New York.
No, I don't even think. I mean, it's not attainable.
Right.
And so it was good to see something in the press. So.
All right. Thank you. Anyone else comments? We have budget study session tomorrow. Everyone is available for that, 9 o'clock here. 3-4 hours max. There shouldn't be any surprises. We don't have a whole lot more money, so.
No, it's the big thing is, once again, it's just looking at what, we did figure out, you will see a reduction in schedule in budgeted overtime because of hiring and promotions. That took a little bit of time to figure out.
Right.
And do that math. So you will see somewhat of a reduction, but you can't get a reduction in overtime without having an increase in pay. So it's a
Right.
It's a shell game. But we're getting better we're getting closer to being full staffed. I will give a shout out to Jessica. She has been an amazing partner in this. The questions that she asks are really, really good. And we're trying to, it's going to take a year or two, but you'll see some more line items in the budget. And it's going to give us more clarity in where our money comes from and where it goes. We're also doing things on the back end. We've done a lot of breaking out of how overtime is. We used to just say attribute something to overtime, and now we're attributing it to like 15 different categories of overtime.
Yeah.
So that we can actually see, and you'll see that you can probably see that in the ops report, where you'll start to see the overtime broken down by, is it training, is it operations, is it fire marshal, where is our overtime being spent? Something we should have done a long time ago, but we're doing it now. So anyway, Jessica's been great. Jenny hears us at the table for hours and hours divvying stuff up. So I think it's been a hard budget season, but it's been good, and I do think that hopefully you'll be pleased with what you see tomorrow. Maybe not the bottom line number, but at least the work you see have gone into it. So.
All right. And then December 19th is our next regular meeting. Is everyone clear for that?
Yeah.
Matt, are you looking? While he's doing that, agenda items for next meeting, we've got budget, public hearing, meeting dates. We decide to change them or keep them. Is this working for everybody? Thursdays at 10:30? Okay, so everyone is available for the 19th of December. We'll decide on the interim fire commissioner based on your recommendations. And then 62, 63, keep those on there. Tender, keep that on there. Anything else? Go ahead.
Could we invite Commissioner Fisher? Say, thank you for his service,
Sure.
as well as Chief Ward. That would be his last.
Okay, so recognitions, we can put that on as a first up item.
You wanna do it first or you wanna do it last?
Well, first, just so they can.
But then it's kind of like when you do the oath of office first and you have a 20-minute break and then you shoot them out.
Well, we could invite them at like 11:30 and do it last.
Yeah.
I just don't want to have them sitting through the whole meeting.
No,
We'll invite him at
that's
11:30.
All right, any other business before the board? We need to sign documents. And I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor? Meeting adjourned, 11:30. 3.